an amazing room of people. I want to first thank Janelle for that awesome introduction. Recently, I was introduced at another event as someone who goes out into the middle of nowhere and makes art with rural America. I was like, yeah, and I live to tell about it. So about that, rural America is not one place. It is made up of extremely diverse communities, each addressing their own set of unique challenges. And think about the term middle of nowhere. What impact does that phrase have on a place? No matter where you are somewhere with a rich and complex history and ecology. You are somewhere that has experienced generations of trauma and genocide and generations of stewardship and care. You are somewhere that is someone's home. Rural communities are stereotyped for their resistance to change, an inability to imagine an alternative future, and then enact the change needed to work towards that future. But that perceived resistance is a symptom of economies based on extraction, damaging narratives, and lack of access to resources. In these cases, what I think of as our community creativity muscles that help move us towards an imagined future have experienced a kind of forced atrophy. So I am interested in opportunities for our communities that what they have to come together to exercise and build the strength they need to strengthen their community creativity muscles. What spaces are there for practicing, imagining, and creating together so that when the time comes to roll up our sleeves and enact change, we are ready? My work is relational and locational, which means that I fall in love with people and places and let that experience inform my practice. I have a theater company called Place-Based Productions, which works with small towns to tell their stories through site-specific original musicals. And I want to tell you about one of the places where we work, the town of Granite Falls. Granite Falls is located on the Minnesota River in the southwest corner of our state. It has 2,734 residents. It's settled on traditional Dakota land, and it now neighbors the Upper Sioux community. It's a town rooted in the agriculture industry with a cooperative hydroelectric dam, a walking bridge, and a main street with a popcorn stand that is open every night of the summer by Kiwanis volunteers, and countless other stories and assets that make it unique. 6 years ago, an environmental organization called Clean Up the River Environment was looking to reconnect people to the Minnesota River, the most polluted river in our state. At a community brainstorming session, one resident said, if we want people to care about the river, we need to get them on the river. That gave us an idea, paddling theater. Let's transform a 6-mile stretch of the Minnesota River into a stage. Now, to write our plays, we spend about a year with each community that we work with. We visit with folks like Gary Lentz, a self-proclaimed river hermit, or Kevin Jensfold, the tribal chairman of the Upper Sioux community, who shares with us the story of the cottonwood tree. Or we attend a potluck at the Mayor Dave Smigluski's house. We host karaoke to meet area talent, and we belly up at the bar at the local watering hole, and we listen to hundreds of stories. During each of these interactions, we are not only asking about the past, we are also asking about hopes for the future. If you had a magic wand and you could make anything happen in your community, what would it be? And we watch as the community creativity muscles start to stretch. After months of listening, we write our original musical and we hold open auditions. And since we have done the work of making friends, folks show up, lots of folks. And we cast every single one of them in the show. Our casts range in age from 5 to 95 years old. They are amateur historians, business owners, artists, and farmers. Most have never performed in a play in their life. Remember Gary the River Hermit and Dave the Mayor? Both were in our show. These folks become our actors, our musicians, artists, and stagehands, our community. And we imagine and start to create our 6-mile stage with the help of our intergenerational cast. We rehearse scenes on riverbanks and on islands and in canoes. We create sets, we find costumes, we build props. We play silly theater games and we dance in the middle of the prairie. We cook food for each other. We sing songs. We take risks. And our creativity muscles are getting an awesome workout. On the day of the big performance, nearly 200 audience members arrive from all over the region. And for 3 hours, paddlers who have never been to theater before and theatergoers who have never paddled before learn about the history, industry, ecology, challenges, and hopes for the future of the river. They witness a Dakota song for the river sung by our friend Joe Whitehawk. They hear the captain of a paddle boat tell a story about bringing new residents to this country as far up the river as they could go. Drop me off at the end of the line. And they listen to a naturalist sing about 36 types of mussels found in the Minnesota River. There's the pond mussel pocketbook, pistol grip, pimpleback, warty back, washboard, am I clear? Listen here. And they hear our cast unite in an anthem. Here in our town, Granite Falls. After the show, we all gather, cast, crew, and audience at Memorial Park for a big celebration. We hear comments from our audience like, I never knew we had so much talent in this area. I've never heard these stories before. I've never been on this part of the river. I can't believe this is happening in Granite Falls. I wish I would have been a part of it. How many of you have been in a play before? Ooh, yeah, theater kids all over the place in here. So you know that feeling at the end of a run when the audience is applauding and you're all holding hands and your hearts are bursting at the seams and you're like, we did it together. That feeling is the most addictive experience. And once you have felt it, you are hooked. The only other time I can think of having experiences like that is in this kind of community work. After participating in our shows, our cast members have gone on to run for office, start businesses, join local boards, and build regional tourism networks. In Granite Falls, which is now the home base of our nonprofit, the Department of Public Transformation, we are transforming a Main Street building that had been vacant for 15 years into a creative community gathering space called Yes. This year, our city council unanimously approved a small-town city artist in residence program, the first of its kind in a town of its size in the country. And these types of things aren't just happening in Granite Falls. Last year, I bought a little yellow school bus and visited artists in small towns across the country to learn how their work was strengthening their community's creativity muscles. This movement is happening and being led by artists in small towns everywhere. So in thinking about ways to connect our communities and practice imagining and creating together, look to your artists. They can help you. Invite them into the process and pay them for their work. And together, we can get our community creativity muscles back in shape, so that when the time comes to enact change, you know that your fellow cast members have done their warm-ups, rehearsed their roles, and you can trust that they will be there in an act of solidarity that is about more than just coming together. It's about knowing that when the curtain rises, we are ready to link arms, walk boldly into the light, and create magic together. Thank you.